following announcement has been paid for by the Put Me Over podcast.
How's everybody doing today?
Size Queen.
I love it.
Hanging in there, and not bad for a Saturday afternoon. It's actually very nice outside. If you guys get a chance, go outside.
It's nice, although I'm not going outside ever again because one, we're in quarantine, and two, I just had a brand new air conditioning unit just installed in my house today. Thank you, Donald Trump, for helping fix our AC. That shit was broken. We had 3 different people come out here, and they all said, "Oh yeah, this shit's old. You need a new one." So I'm glad that we have a brand new AC unit. So it's gonna be nice and cool inside my house. I just want to get to the point where I need a blanket when it's 90 degrees outside. That's the American dream right there.
Hell yeah!
In due time, my friend. In due time.
Also,
I'm just happy because sports are back.
Right.
Sports. I mean, limited capacity, but I'll take what I can get. Bundesliga came back today. I watched a little bit of the Dortmund game. 4-0 blowout. Yeah.
Killed it.
UFC was last weekend.
Killed it.
I watched.
And tonight too. And they had a match on Wednesday too.
Yes, they did.
So are they doing Fight Island still? Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's not for these ones. They're getting it ready, I think. It's probably for the next pay-per-view.
Mortal Kombat status, dude.
That's going to be very interesting to see how that's going to work out.
Vince needs to talk to Dana, not Brooke, Dana White, about maybe bringing SummerSlam to Fight Island because it's off in Boston. It's not going to happen.
Right.
But I mean, if there's a setup already,
dude.
Dana and Vince are on that coalition of business owners from Donald Trump.
I can imagine Vince McMahon sitting in a stool like a throne. Your soul is mine.
Once they sign the contract,
he would do that. He would say that.
Dude, I'm all for that. Imagine the entertainment value of that shit for WWE plus an island. That's like a full-on production. That'd be the shit.
And it would fit the theme of SummerSlam.
Bro,
dude,
that's hot fire right there.
Hey, pal, I'm gonna need you to sign this contract. All right, Vince, you got it. Your soul is mine. Yes.
SummerSlam Island?
Dude.
That would be,
monumental.
Sign me up for that. That sounds awesome. But other than that, I'm making sandwiches every Tuesday. If you guys are available, tune into a Sandy with Andy on my Instagram at itsme83k. Every week I make a new sandwich. I put up a vote on my Instagram every Friday. I take that vote, and then I buy my ingredients the day before, and we make a sandwich every week. So if you want to learn how to make a sandwich and hang out for about 20 minutes, stop on by. Nothing else happens on Tuesday. You can watch Impact, I guess, if you want to, but
what channel is that on?
Come on. Yeah, you probably don't have a channel.
499,000.
I think that's it for the intro. Let's get into our sponsors this week. Let's give it up to our friends at lapelya.com. If you're ever in the market for some wrestling merchandise, look no further. Go to lapelya.com. Use our promo code PUTMEOVER. And in turn, that website will put you over. And you'll get 20% off your entire order. They're putting out some crazy stuff. A lot of tie-dye stuff. They just put out a COVID living Covida Loca.
Living Covida Loca.
Which is like a personal journal that you can write in and color, and it's like a whole workbook. So definitely go check that out. And also go check out our friends at Grudge Match Brand and Grudge Match Brand Apparel on Instagram. They're going to be dropping out another Hot Fire shirt. So waiting on my bad booking shirt. It's ordered. It should be mailed here pretty soon, right, Bob?
Yes, very definitely. Very soon. I think they're in pre-production, so they should be getting them pretty soon.
Perfect.
Oh, sweet.
So make sure you go check out Grudge Match. Turn on them notifications. Hit that little bell icon or whatever. Stay in the loop on them. Also, make sure you go to our website, putmeoverpodcast.com, for all of your Put Me Over podcast merchandise wants and needs. We got shirts. We got hats. We got stickers. We have cell phone cases. We have Frisbees. I want Frisbees. Let's make that fire.
Frisbees are tight.
Once we can go back outside again, you're going to want to – we're gonna be putting over going outside again. So make sure you go check that out. And that's it. So
it's perfect.
How's everybody hanging in there? What did you guys think of this week in wrestling? This week was interesting. It's not getting easier. personally.
Definitely not.
We got a lot to talk about this week as far as wrestling goes. I mean, we were coming off the heels of Money in the Bank and the Fallout.
We actually did a live stream.
Yeah,
We did our first ever watch along live stream, fight companion, if you will, for Money in the Bank, and it was nice because it was only 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I was prepared to sit around for 5 hours watching wrestling with you guys, but give me more 2.5 hour shows. That's awesome.
It was perfect timing. I was like, what?
Yes.
I was doing like 15 other things at once. By the time I knew it was over. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, it was awesome. So definitely keep an eye out if you're following us on the YouTube channel. Sign up, subscribe, hit the notifications because we're gonna start doing, I think, that regularly. Maybe.
Yeah, we should do it on random shit too. Maybe we should have like on the weekends if we're bored, something where we can do like a special event. We'll watch like classic matches. And shit.
Ooh, that would be dope.
Ooh. Hey, we can get people in on that too. Watch with us.
Yeah.
We can have a WrestleMania 2000 tournament.
Oh.
Yes.
We can watch that too.
We got In Your House coming up too, so
And which we'll get into with that stuff later on as well.
AEW Double or
A
Nothing.
lot of things we got to talk about, guys.
Ooh, AEW Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing is next weekend, guys. I'm gonna order that shit. It's gonna be awesome. But before we get into all that other stuff, let's get into the news. Let's get into some Dick's Dirty News. Take it away, Dick.
All right. My worst Matthew McConaughey impersonation. So we did talk about earlier about how sports is starting to come back little by little. The Bundesliga is coming back. We briefly mentioned about UFC coming back. In fact, they're trying to do 3 shows a week. Last Saturday was their pay-per-view, UFC 249, and it looked like it did very well as far as the numbers go. They did about 600,000 buys, and for it being on the ESPN Plus app, that's actually very impressive.
Yeah, it's such a pain in the ass to have to do that. But I mean that's a pretty good number, and the fights didn't disappoint either.
They're pretty good.
Tony Ferguson, I mean,
Wow.
What a beast.
that guy's just the Orange County zombie now. That guy wouldn't get knocked out, dude.
Just stay down, please.
Or go down.
Is he from Oxnard? I think he's from Oxnard, right?
Yeah, but he resides in OC.
Yeah, reciting the OC. Yeah.
Okay.
One of those OC Mexicans, the ones who don't know how to dress and shit.
The one that love the Angels.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, what the fuck? What are those glasses, bro? But he'll fuck me up, so you tell him that.
And that's Byron Pagalao's opinion. I like it. But so yeah, as I mentioned, we're starting to see more and more sports coming back. One brand that's not coming back anytime soon is New Japan. I don't know if you guys heard of the press conference that they did the other day on YouTube. The president of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Harold Mage, he did a brief 6-minute video. If you guys haven't got a chance to watch it, I recommend it. It's very short and is very to the point as far as what New Japan's future lies. He did mention real quick that there's not going to be any shows right now because Tokyo is still in the middle of a pandemic. They're still in the middle of a state of emergency. So they're not going to do any empty arena matches until they feel it's safe to do so. So he did issue a blueprint of sorts to kind of get an idea of when they're going to go back into wrestling, starting with empty arena, and then eventually working to having a crowd, a limited capacity crowd with social distancing, which is actually very good for. I was actually kind of impressed having someone, an executive for a wrestling company, printing a guideline, knowing that this is what we're going to do. This is our plan.
Not like just making sure everyone's safe, which it's their choice.
Not pay your local state and buy out to get your way into keeping the business going. Like WWE.
Suck them off if you need to.
I mean, but I think this whole thing is people got to talk to Dana White because he seems like he's got it down.
Yeah, figured it out.
I mean, he video showed like half the guys getting that thing stuck up your nose. So it's pretty wild. I mean, people are gonna talk to him and see how they're doing the testing.
Did they swab you, Byron, for your COVID test?
Oh, they make. I got the test where they do it through the throat. That shit hurts still a little bit.
I thought you were gonna say butt.
They make you cough like 5 times, really hard as you can, like.
Really?
And then you
Oh,
get
wow.
they give you this weird Q-tip, like in a little vial, and you have to scratch the back of your throat.
Ooh, I'm sure that like bothers you for the rest of the day,
Oh
right?
yeah, the rest of the day my throat was itchy. It was pissing me off.
Ah,
But
I'd throw up.
so we'll see.
just throw up all over it.
I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if that did happen.
That has to happen at some point. That shit's nasty as fuck.
That's
But
what I
we-
said. Like, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised by that.
But now we learned Byron can deep throat.
Yeah, there
There you go.
COVID / throat test.
Oh man.
No gag reflex.
Okay.
They're gonna just start using cucumbers like to test now.
No, it's just
It's gonna be like a giant fucking cucumber with like a swab at the end. Like, all right,
from carrot to cucumber.
we gotta see how far this can go.
Oh Jesus.
Nope. Keep going. Further. Further.
You didn't get it.
Once you start gagging, it's far enough. Oh, you took all? Okay, you took all of it.
Put your name on the list.
What's your number, girl?
He has COVID, but he took a dick.
Oh my god, I'm dying.
That's awesome. No shows for New Japan in the
Yeah,
fourth.
not anytime soon. So they're going against the trajectory as far as the other promotions here in the U.S. go. UFC they're going to do their own thing. Mentioned with Fight Island. I'm interested to see how this is going to go. Last week, Jacare Souza, he did have to drop out of 249 because he did test positive for COVID-19.
Damn.
So let's see how this turns out. This is all a work in progress. I think everyone is in uncharted territory. Maybe if UFC's approach does work, then we could perhaps see other promotions take the same stride as them. WWE, I'm sure they're getting tired of running empty arena matches. We did mention earlier about SummerSlam, and last week, as a matter of fact, SummerSlam not being in Boston because the Boston mayor had said there's going to be no public gatherings until Labor Day. So WWE is even thinking about doing. They want to have SummerSlam with a capacity, with some sort of crowd, not a capacity crowd, but having some sort of crowd interaction.
Fight Island sounds pretty dope.
Fight Island. I mean, the thing with Fight Island though is that they're not going to be able to get fans to be there.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you can have fans yet, dude.
Yeah,
it's so soon.
I mean, August is a couple months. It's going to be 3 months away before SummerSlam. I mean, a lot could happen in that time.
Especially when you have all these Karens fighting over. I don't want to wear a mask.
Oh my god, that lady pissed me off to no end, dude.
Oh,
Blood red man.
And that's another thing right there. How are you gonna if you're gonna have a crowd, you're gonna have to enforce the social distancing and having a mask when you're in a public gathering. And like you guys mentioned, not a lot of people want to wear a mask.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of factors that are coming into this.
Even if you don't want to wear a mask, just wear one to help out whoever's helping you out, I think it's really selfish, the people going out and like protesting wearing a mask. Like, okay, you don't believe in it, fine, but the person that's gonna ring you up does. So just don't be an asshole, basically.
Yeah,
just chill. It's not
I'm gonna go out and get COVID-19, and then I'm gonna have a Trump rally and just say, "Screw wearing a mask, guys!" Just cough on all of them.
Just kiss and make out with everyone.
Yeah, Bobby.
I'll be that guy.
That would be Bobby's excuse to make out with someone. Just, I have COVID now. You have COVID.
You just got COVID.
What else
you just got COVID. Last week we talked. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? We mentioned about the XFL folding and how Oliver Luck was going to sue Vince McMahon.
Right.
I think that was 2 weeks ago.
That was 2 weeks ago. We talked about that. So we got a little bit more information about what's going on with that lawsuit. Apparently, McMahon's legal team listed gross negligence of the job during the COVID pandemic, which includes personal use of a cell phone, as far as why they terminated Luck. And Luck wants to get that money back as far as what the contract entailed. It just seems like it's just one petty thing after another once you hear about stuff like this with involving Vince and why he terminated to Luck.
So because he used a company phone for okay, so you're gonna fire him. So why can't Oliver like just pay the $60 for the cell phone plan? And
Hey Oliver, hey
20 mil.
Oliver, good luck winning this lawsuit.
Heyo. Honestly, Vince's lawyers we know how fucking cutthroat they are. They don't care.
Yeah,
I think it's Jerry McDermott that's doing it, and he's had a history of getting Vince out of these situations. You know, I mean, look what happened with the whole story, the steroid trial back in the '90s. He got off of it.
You put him out there with a neck brace and be like, "We're gonna win this shit, bro."
And he won. The one thing, then Byron mentioned this. Vince is not dumb. He's a genius. He knows he's a business genius. He knows how to get out of these situations.
We'll figure it out.
or does he
Sure.
work with smarter people that get him out of these situations?
That too as well. I mean, if you're in that situation, you do want to hire intelligent people to help you in that situation.
Notice Rudy Giuliani isn't his personal lawyer.
Yes.
Yes.
Shows the brilliance of Vince McMahon.
Hey Trump, ditch the bozo. That's what Vince told him.
But we'll see how this turns out. This is just more information as we go. We'll look at the money. We'll see what happens going down the road. And then also real quick, let's talk about the Road Warriors documentary. Did you guys happen to watch the documentary?
I haven't seen it yet.
Well, yeah, it was awesome. I had a good time. This is one of the ones I was looking forward to the most. That and the Owen Hart one.
Which is going to be next week.
I learned that Hawk was cleaning up his life towards the end there. And I thought he just had a drug overdose, but in fact he just was just moving. He was moving furniture, and he said, "I don't feel good," and he laid down, and that was it.
So that was kind of like Eddie then, huh?
Yeah, his heart just gave up.
In a way, yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, Animal said that he wasn't shy about his drug problem, his painkillers, and partying and everything.
Blow and steroids and uppers and heroin. Like, he did it all, man.
Remember when they played that angle with relating to that? That was kind of sad in a way.
That was really sad. He was like all shit. They
did talk about that actually.
Oh, so sad.
They have Draws on the show too. He talks about him going up there. It's crazy how good in shape Draws was. Draws was like same level as like Animal.
Dude, he was huge.
Yeah.
I forgot how big he was, man. Like when they replayed that part, I was like, dude, he's like jacked.
Yeah.
He was a former football player.
Yeah, but like a lot of these former football players, I mean, they have like a body like a meaty body. He was like a slim, like Karl Malone body,
Right.
And the crazy thing that I got from the documentary was I didn't know that Animal wasn't that much of a party guy. Like he was kind of like a mellow dude.
Yeah, he was the brains and the brawn.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Hawk was the wild card for sure.
Well, Paul Ellering was the brains behind the whole operation. Animal was more like, let's get in the ring, do our business. I'm going to chill tonight. You got to keep him. I mean, Animal also had a family as well. So his mentality was earlier as well, because Hawk did have a daughter. But throughout the existence of the team, Animal had a family. He had a young kid. And every day, he does his work, comes home, repeats. Hawk, on the other hand, he just loves to go out there. He just loves to live life, and he wanted to party.
Yeah, they were talking about it when they went to Japan, and they said they went into the newsroom, and he said that there was more news people there than when Michael Jackson went to Japan.
Yeah,
I don't know how true that is.
They were also talking about how Hawk was partying with the Yakuza.
Oh, that's right.
I'm not surprised by that.
He would party with Japan. That's so fucking crazy.
Dude, it was wild, man. I mean, I could imagine, dude, guys like that where they were those characters in Japan. That flies, man. That's anime.
Oh,
right there.
You're a rock star.
So yeah, it was an amazing documentary. I think I didn't finish about 5 to 10 minutes of it, so I got to go back and watch that. But it's really good.
When Paul Ellering is talking about Hawk, he starts choking up about talking at his funeral. Like, it got me.
Yeah,
That was
those
crazy
heartstrings,
how
man.
like when they got the news about Hawk's death, Animal and Ellering, they drove out from from Chicago
Yeah,
or Minnesota to Florida in the van that they were brought up in years ago.
yeah, the same van that they would use to tour. He like dusted it off and had to like spray paint some of the rusty parts. But he said I still have the van, and we drove down there in that van.
Yeah, it was pretty cool doc.
Next week is Owen Hart season finale. I don't know if I'm ready for it, guys.
You know what? This season has been very good as far as the documentaries go. There hasn't been a bad one. Maybe the weakest one was the Brawl for All.
I still like it.
It was good.
I still
but
like
it was probably the weakest of all of them. But as far as everything else goes, it's been very good. And
yeah, I learned a lot on the UWF actually.
Did you watch the Herb Abrams one?
UWF,
Dude, that guy is a
crazy,
party animal.
He died lubed up in Vaseline, covered in cocaine in the backseat of a cop car.
What?
Well, it's not a bad way to go if you like that.
He went.
Brian Blair said it perfectly. Herb Abrams went out the way he loved what he loved doing, cocaine and hookers.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, you thought Paul Heyman, bouncing checks was bad. This guy was literally like
worse,
bouncing town. Like he still owes money to the MGM Grand for the event that he threw.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's wild.
And no one seems to know how he got his money.
They said that he owned a store that sold like big women clothes, but
there was one, and then he also worked in the stock market. It just seems like no one really he just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, if you guys get a chance, definitely binge watch season 2 of Dark Side of the Ring. It's been very good, and other than Drew making a sandwich on Tuesdays, that's another thing to watch.
Thanks for the plug, Dick. I think they upload their episodes to their YouTube channel like a week later or something like that. So there's definitely ways to go find it.
Definitely, I mean, during this time,
I found the Road Warriors one just by some random person uploading it. So
yeah,
sorry.
Speaking of the Road Warriors, Rachel Ellering has been released from NXT, so the hits keep coming. I feel like they're probably winding down now, but according to her, she wanted out because when she tore her ACL, she didn't think that they were taking good care of her as far as her recovery. She tore her ACL, and then in rehab, she said that she didn't like how they were like addressing it because she actually re-injured her ACL during rehab. So she was
really
one of those people that was kind of outspoken against the company, and when you do that, you're probably asking to get that release. So, I hope she lands somewhere good because she was actually someone that I had my eye out on. She's really good, so we'll see.
She had legacy to her too, so you usually
exactly.
That's true.
You have a step ahead if you usually.
Cody's probably already making that call.
Yeah,
100%.
Who knows right now? Because I mean, other than WWE, AEW is really the only game running right now. Everyone else is in shutdown mode until further notice.
New Japan, I mean, yeah, that's the other one that you could go to. Indie shows aren't running, that's for damn sure. And Byron just got more handsome. Holy shit, dude! You look like Prince, dude.
For all these ladies out here, I guess it's time to reward them for tuning in. So to deny
there you go.
What else?
And to say we only cater to dudes.
all races and genders are welcome.
We try to open everyone up with loving arms. And then did you guys happen to see the Undertaker documentary that premiered after Money in the Bank?
I still need to watch it.
It's pretty good. I would
very good documentary.
I would say it's the wrestling world's equivalent to The Last Dance.
I got that vibe because like they call it The Last Ride and there's The Last Dance.
Well, I was like, wait a minute. That's very peculiar timing there, WWE.
It is.
The one time they're on time for something.
Exactly.
Right?
I'm surprised this didn't come out like 2 years later.
It's 5 parts too, right, Dick?
Part 2 is going to come out on Sunday. They're going to release. It's a 5-part series. It's going to be out on Sundays. I think the last one is going to be, if the timing's correct, it should be after Backlash. I want to say.
Wait, did you just say it's 5 parts?
Yeah.
Yes.
Part 2.
Dude, what? That's so much.
Well, they started.
I mean,
They're really pulling back the curtain on this though. Like you're learning about Mark Calloway. You're not really. I mean, you're obviously learning about the Undertaker, but they're giving like some stuff we've never heard coming from the guy himself. So
it's so good so far. This is where like you kind of see, it's not the Undertaker anymore. You almost like him even more because he's such an old man, and they show like all the stuff he has to go through to even like get to a match. It's
really,
so dramatic. I'm like, no wonder why he wrestles like once a year for real, dude. And then they put highlights of that Brock match when he's getting tossed. I'm like, dang! Imagine being 55 and taking this.
It's insane.
I can't even imagine being. Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say that, dude. Like, no way.
No, I'm not taking the
F5. I'm glad you brought that up, Byron, because Undertaker did an interview back in 2002. It was on the eve of WrestleMania. He did it with I don't know if you guys are familiar with the host of Michael Ginsburg. I think it's Michael Ginsburg, I want to say, up in Canada. He would interview a bunch of wrestlers, and they were like in a shoot style format where they would be at they would expose a curtain a little bit, and in that interview, Taker had said like he didn't want to be like the guys that he saw at the time coming back, like the Hogans or Flairs, still wrestling in their 40s and 50s. He wanted to go out with a bang, and yet here he is in his 50s still wrestling.
Right.
Yeah,
that's wild.
He talks about it in a documentary too, where he goes, he's very self-aware. Like they talk about that Goldberg match.
He is.
Was, and like it's crazy to show all the behind the scenes of how he interacts with Vince and Triple H. Dude, Triple H is the man. Like Triple H's pep talks to Undertaker before his matches are like, what?
Really?
Yeah.
All right, I need to go and watch that. Yes.
All right.
You are. Remember?
Yeah, definitely go out of your way to watch that documentary.
Yeah, it's super good. And
once we're done, I'm watching that.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good. Watch it, and then we'll talk about it even more because Undertaker's a fascinating person too, not just the character.
He is, and he's got a very good memory as far as what happens, as far as stuff that goes on.
Yeah.
Except for after he lost the streak.
That one was the fact that he was concussed.
He missed
the concussion.
Yeah, but yeah.
But perhaps the biggest news of the week. Let's just get into it. It happened. Actually happened on Raw this Monday with Becky Lynch coming to the ring. It was quite interesting, as before Raw premiered, she did issue a statement saying she had some big news. And I think a lot of the fans, a lot of the internet wrestling community, I hate to use that term, kind of had an idea what was going on. And she did mention on the show that she is pregnant.
Pregnant Becky. The man
Becky is
mom.
Pregnant.
I mean, that's good for her. Cornette has actually come out and like kind of bashed her for this, but I mean, who are you to say when someone should start a family, you know?
Right.
Yeah, definitely not one of the biggest fans of Becky's news, right? For sure.
Yeah, I don't understand his take on it. It's very machismo, and you know, you're at the top of your game, and it was just a kind of like a backhanded like smack on her. Like it was terrible. I did not like his take.
Yeah, but I mean, congrats to Becky and Seth.
Yeah, definitely.
Congrats to them. And for those that didn't get a chance to listen to the Cornette documentary, what's going on? Essentially, he does try to equate to her being pregnant at the time to one of the fellas intentionally breaking their leg when they're at their peak wanting time off. And he did a horrible analogy of saying, what if Stone Cold Steve Austin back in '98 at his peak potentially had broken his leg?
Wow.
That's what Becky being pregnant is right now. And I'm just like, that's not the same thing at all.
It's not. I mean, someone, Owen Hart dropped him on his stack of diamonds. He calls the neck and broke it right before I was about to, win the IC title. And I gave the worst roll up of my life that night. That was dog shit. So, accidents happen. Maybe this pregnancy was an accident. But for Cornette to come out and be like, yo, you're ruining your career. You're just throwing everything away. Stone Cold never broke his neck on purpose or whatever. But, things happen, bro. And
Shit happens.
when someone should start a family. I'm going to say that again because I stand by it.
I mean, she's kind of on her old age, too. She's, 33, I think, or 32?
He said she has a couple more years left in that easy bake oven of hers.
Yeah.
He did say that.
Dude.
That's kind of funny, though. That's hilarious.
I mean,
it's a funny analogy. I'm not gonna lie.
It's Cornette being Cornette. Obviously, we know why he says that to get a rile out of the fans. He's made it publicly known he's not really a fan of the modern wrestling era, and especially of the modern wrestling fans. He's just doing it to draw up a stir amongst everyone. But I just thought that was just a poor analogy, and here we are talking about it.
I mean, he did it on purpose.
He did it on purpose, obviously.
The real question is, how mad do you think Ronda Rousey is because she got pregnant? She's trying to get pregnant, and Becky got pregnant before her.
Sheesh. Maybe we get a storyline out of all this. I
wouldn't be the least bit surprised by that if you go that route.
It kind of sucks too.
Loads for months before you.
It super sucks because that moment on Raw with her and Asuka was a super dope moment. It sucks for one, there was no fans. It couldn't have been that big pop.
I heard that Asuka didn't know what Becky was.
She didn't know.
That's dope.
Which makes it even more dope, more of a surprise, a shock. I love the way that she's like, "You go out and be a warrior. I'm gonna go out and be a mother." And
I thought that was a great line.
And then it clicks for Asuka, and Asuka's face lights up, and
yeah,
it was a really good moment.
It was really one of those wrestling moments that were it popped.
Yeah, and Asuka got work that night, bro.
It would have been nice if they did it in front of a crowd and really get that reaction.
Oh, that would have been a huge pop.
But given the circumstances, I think for the most part they did a very good job with it. Backstage, they did show all the baby faces going up to her and congratulating her. Maybe they should have done that when she was about ready to walk back into the walk backstage. They could have had all the baby faces come out and then congratulate her.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I thought other than that, they did a very good job opening up Raw with that, and it was definitely big news, and they did deliver when it comes to that, because we've seen how WWE, when they promote stuff like that, it more often than not it falls on its face.
Right.
I liked that Shayna has been the anti-mom this whole time too, just talking shit to everybody.
Did you see that when Charlie interviewed her, she called her baby a parasite?
Oh, really? I didn't. I must have missed that part. I did laugh when she said, "Have you seen her dad? That kid's gonna suck." That was really funny. Saying that kid's gonna suck. And then Natalya coming up backstage after, and she's like, "How dare you insult Becky's unborn child?" And she's like, "Well, what do you know about being a mom? You're never gonna be a mom."
Ooh.
I don't think cat mom counts in that situation.
Yeah, cats don't count, bro.
I don't know if you guys I guess some people were following the timeline and saying that she was actually pregnant during WrestleMania.
Yeah. The Wikipedia of that match actually says Becky with unborn child defeats.
Someone had wrote on there.
Yeah, it's a handicap match.
Hilarious.
Is undefeated.
That's pretty funny.
I mean, and keep in mind, WrestleMania was recorded a week before it aired on the network.
Yeah, so she's had that bump for a little while.
Right.
I want to talk about Seth now because he's very despondent. He didn't talk really at all.
He looked like he did not take the news at all.
That's what
it went on a bender.
This is what I was thinking, okay? Because Byron Saxon and the commentary was like, "Oh, he must be so despondent because he didn't win the title last night." But I'm like, maybe he's just like, "Fuck this! My life is over. My life is over. I'm gonna have a kid now.
I'm fucked.
I don't want a kid. I'm in the prime of my life. Now I'm fucked." I think that's where this angle is going, but I could be wrong.
He's already going for that dad bod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
I would love that angle because everyone's congratulating Becky, but I mean, no one's really talking to Seth about it.
Although backstage, Ray did try to congratulate Seth, but Seth did not show any type of response whatsoever, which Seth walked away, and Ray's like, and this is Ray's words, what a dick. They even allowed him to say that on TV, which they never did.
Probably it definitely elicited that reaction,
which was a good reaction, by the way. I thought that was great. Since we're already talking about Seth and Ray, I mentioned this earlier. I mentioned this before we went on. On Money in the Bank, Baron Corbin threw Ray and Aleister Black off, correct?
Off the top of the building, correct?
Off the top of the building. So they redacted it. They should be dead. However, they redacted on Monday saying that they were alive because there was a secondary roof below, 6 feet below. If you're thrown off 6 feet or so, you would come across with some injuries.
Yes.
I would think.
Maybe if you don't know how to fall, but these guys know how to fall. They've fallen off of 14-foot ladders. I'm sure. I don't know how to fall. That's why I got injured when I fell off.
I'm just trying to come up with some logic behind it.
There's no logic. You don't get.
There's
worked.
no logic in wrestling, of course.
Put yourself into a shoot, brother.
It's wrestling.
Also, while we're on the subject, I also have to announce something live on the show. Your new pay-per-view world champion of the podcast, The Miz, A3K. Oh man, it felt good to almost go perfect, and then Otis, AJ had it. I was gonna go fucking 6 for 6 on all my picks.
Whatever, man.
But AJ
got lucky.
I got lucky. I guessed everything correctly. You don't get lucky that way. You just got to be smart. And then,
I mean, who would have thought Otis would win it, dude?
That was the one. Even on our Instagram
He
poll,
was a dark horse
because there was no way.
Yeah, there's no way.
I like that we were joking about Nia Jax using it as a lunchbox, but Otis is actually now officially said he uses it as a lunchbox.
Well, of course they're going to have Otis use it as a lunchbox. I mean, look at the guy.
He's a big boy.
On SmackDown, they're like, "What do you keep in that? What's in that anyways?" And he's like, "Well, my contract." And then Morrison's like, "And what else?" Some Rolaids and some Tums. And then Miz is like, "What else?" Couple bratwursts in case I get hungry. I mean, they're already leaning into the fact
they're already going in hard on that one.
Yeah. Another thing that happened on Raw, I'm excited for. Bobby Lashley looks like he's going to be ditching Lana and teaming up with MVP. MVP is building up his own little stable quietly in the background. Something we should definitely keep an eye out on because he's approached. I mean, he has the tag team of Vink and Thorne.
Brandon Vink and Shane Thorne.
Yes, he's approaching Lashley now. Maybe we might get a new Nation of Domination. I know we said this when the New Day started, but this one feels like it has a little edge to it.
I've said this before. I mean, Lashley and the fact that MVP is now back with the company, they should have hooked up sooner than now. It just brings me shades of what they were doing in TNA with the Beat 'em Up crew, and MVP is a perfect mouthpiece for Lashley. Just have him go out there, have him talk. You know, MVP knows how to talk to the crowd. He knows how to get a promo. You know, he can do a very good promo. And just have Lashley be like this badass and be like, this is the real Bobby Lashley. You go out there and just be a complete badass. It's going to be tough because how they've portrayed Lashley before. What do you like?
I got one thing to say. Lashley better lose that freaking smile, dude. Lose the smile. Just throw it out.
Completely.
He's
been a bad boy for a little while.
I hope so.
But you know, with the Solana stuff, it really, really fucked him up. And worse than I think the sisters bit.
Oh, now
God,
the boy hat all the time. He did him no favors when he first started, but maybe this is a turning point. Byron, I'm sure you're excited for the Iconics to come back.
Oh, they look so good. God,
Peyton Royce looked like she was just out there in underwear, dude.
She's the hottest woman in WWE right now. Maybe history. Who knows? It's insane.
Yeah, she's up there for me for sure.
Finally, I've been waiting for this moment forever. We're back, baby.
They're back in their full glory, and they even copped a win over the tag team champs.
Yeah, which is kind of weird, but
They're on their way. Who cares about the tag team titles, though? Really. Speaking of not caring about the tag team titles, we had the tag team champions in a match against the Viking Raiders, but it wasn't a match. It was a pre-recorded basketball game. What did you guys think of the segment? We liked the Kobe part.
And it turned out that the Viking Raiders were just they were hustling the Street Profits, and they actually knew how to play. I just thought this segment was kind of wasn't too fond of it, even though I thought the tribute to Kobe was pretty cool. The fact that Dawkins and I can't remember the other help me out, guys. Ford, Montez and Dawkins 824. I thought that was great. A great tribute to Kobe.
I thought the segment went way too long to get to the point of it, you know. But I mean, I saw that on Being the Elite already, so I didn't really care too much about it, anyways.
I like the segment. It's just a bit of like something different. It reminds me of those kids' TV shows like Hang Time or some shit.
Man, it helped.
Back.
It was a comedy thing. I definitely I like that the Viking Raiders were even like bagging on themselves when they were like, "We're not doing karaoke again, are we?" I thought that was a nice little touch.
They became a little too self-aware.
Yeah. I do know too that like I can definitely play basketball better than those two black guys for sure. and yeah, sorry guys, but yeah.
You think Vince was like, "All right, guys, we have you rapping. Now we need to complete the trifecta. Here's a basketball."
I was like, shit, they can't even play basketball. What the fuck?
He was like, wait, what do we do?
maybe they're kayfabing us and they really know how to play. I mean, who knows?
Nah, they're more into football.
Like
probably.
a chicken wing eating contest or something. Gotta bet the stereo.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
I mean, they could do that for the 4th of July. You know how Nathan's has a hot dog eating contest every year.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Maybe I'll edit that part out.
It sounds like something Vince would do, though, for sure. Edit.
I don't want to be corneted. Edge is back. We're gonna get Edge and Orton again. This is the final segment of Raw. For feeling like not a lot happened on Raw, kind of a lot happened, I guess.
A lot did happen, actually.
We're getting a straight
weird
wrestling match. We're not getting a gimmick. There's no last man standing. It's just a bet. Best man wins kind of deal. I'm not sure why they're doing this, but they're saying that Edge is already saying it could be the greatest match of all time.
That was Charlie Caruso who said that, and I just thought that was such a weird line.
Very weird.
Because they don't say wrestling at all, number one. And number two, they're putting themselves in a situation, but just by saying that, I mean, they got to live to the hype, otherwise it's not going to be, which we all know more than likely it's probably not. But why put pressure on them in that situation?
Yeah, exactly.
It won't. They're just trying to get their use out of Edge. That's all they're trying to do.
Yeah, hype it up.
I mean, come on.
You got to sell tickets or sell.
I mean, I get the logic behind it. Like, Edge beat Orton in a street fight, but Orton's logic is like, well, I'm a wrestler first and foremost. You can't out-wrestle me, so I'm going to challenge you to a wrestling match.
And I challenge you to a sports entertainment match.
That would be even weirder if you said
let's see who can sports entertain the best.
Oh, man. You've been sports entertained.
Let's switch to SmackDown. Dick, you have a graphic for us for the stripped Sami Zayn. A lot of people.
That's another big news that's happened this week as well.
Yeah, go and take it away.
Yeah, so Sami Zayn was stripped of the IC Championship. He hasn't been on TV for a while, and I don't know if they have plans for the IC belt, and maybe that's why they want to bring him back on TV. But Sami's no longer champion. He's still out in Canada. He's gonna lay low until this whole situation dies down. Is it a work? Is it a shoot? Who's to say? But it seems like on Twitter, when WWE on Fox made that announcement, or they asked a question to the crowd, let's go ahead and ask like, who should the next champion be? Sami Zayn said, well, he should be ashamed of themselves. So maybe it is a kind of like a little gimmick, but anyways, they're going to have a little tournament. Here's the bracket right now. I'm going to go and pull it up. Let me know if you guys see it.
Nothing yet.
You haven't seen it yet?
Share
Nah.
screen.
Let's see. Hang on. This is all a work in progress right here for me.
Click share screen.
Okay, there we go. How's that?
It's still black.
Yeah, it's black.
Click on the image, or
I have the image open. This is all
it's
like
probably loading.
this is all like a work in
There it is.
progress.
Edit.
Got it?
Edit.
Oh, I just
No, you're good. You're good.
Leave it.
there is a little bit of a delay on my end from your guys' end as well.
These are some good matches, actually.
Yeah, I like the contenders too. They're all pretty much, in my opinion, worthy recipients of this belt.
Yeah. Kind of where the AJ Styles from Raw is on the SmackDown show. It looks like the brand split might be kind of going away with all the ratings being dog shit every week. So, I mean, Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak had match of the night for me on SmackDown. And then
Very good match. I agree with you on that statement.
I mean, yeah, Drew Gulak is severely underrated in my eyes, in Vince's eyes probably too. Elias and King Corbin had an Elias King Corbin match. I'm excited for next week. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. That was a WrestleMania main event. What, 3 years ago? 4 years ago?
They did wrestle for the WWE title a couple WrestleManias ago. Yes.
And then Jeff Hardy and Sheamus. This feud has been building for a while too. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm interested to see who's gonna win the whole thing, and how is that gonna factor into Sammy being, the rightful guy. Are they gonna go HBK on us? They could be doing that. They could do a Shinsuke who's part of Zayn's faction. They could go that way also.
There's a lot of possibilities to go as far as the outcome. I mean, AJ Shinsuke is going to be in the first round. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be something worthwhile. If I had to pick as far as who would win the bracket, I think a Daniel Bryan AJ match is going to final could likely happen.
That would be awesome.
I could totally see that happening. I think I'm probably going to go with AJ on this one.
Or I can see a Sheamus versus AJ. Because they're trying, I mean, what has Sheamus done lately? I don't know. And I think he's come out and said the IC title is the one title he hasn't won. So I could see Sheamus actually winning this whole thing.
They could go that route too, because both guys have not won the IC championship.
Wasn't Sheamus supposed to retire though?
Yeah.
I think he's doing spot duty right now, just filling in when he can, I guess.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, it's not going to go on Nakamura. I mean, I would say Daniel Bryan.
That'd be sick.
Can we get Daniel Bryan versus El Generico?
Ooh.
Dude. I mean, honestly, I think it's going to come down to AJ and D-Bry, and D-Bry wins it, and it's going to be like a fire match, dude. It's going to be awesome.
Hopefully. We can hope, but I think Sheamus is a wild card in this.
He is, and I don't know if the finals are going to be at. Did they announce when the finals are going to be?
No. Well,
I mean, the pay-per-view coming up.
at this rate, it might be Backlash.
Oh yeah, that's
With Backlash.
Let's make our picks now, real quick. Let's just pick. Well,
I said AJ Styles. I'm gonna go with AJ.
I'll go Daniel Bryan.
I'm gonna go Sheamus.
I'm gonna say D-Bry.
Dang. All right.
All right. So we actually have a wide variety of picks here, because it could be any one of these guys.
Not
I'll throw it in the
Daniel Bryan would be my de facto number one, but I want to be contrarian, and I just have a weird feeling about Sheamus.
I really want Shinsuke to win too, but
he was just the IC champ, and they jobbed him into Braun, right?
But I want him to feud with someone big.
Yes.
So, well, whatever. We'll see.
We'll see. Very cool. What else happened on SmackDown?
Well, I thought the coolest thing in SmackDown was I'm telling you guys, Sonya's onto something big. Her promo at the end with Ziggs, that shit was fire, dude. And yeah, she's killing it. There's something in her, dude. And the way something clicked, like something totally. There's an on switch, and she totally turned it on.
I feel like she believes it. You can feel the realness in what
Right.
she's saying. She called her a stupid bitch, which I'm always a fan of that.
Favorite words, easy.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have a mixed tag match next week too, so that could keep the storyline going. We'll see where that goes. And then
I'm intrigued to see where this feud's going to go, to see what the end result is. As far as promo work goes, this has definitely been the best Sony has done really ever, and she's given the opportunity and she's delivering.
Good job.
Since the split, she's been very consistent, so I'm excited for her. I'm also wondering, is Otis gonna cash in Money in the Bank on a world title or a tag title?
European title.
24/7 title.
24/7 title.
Because it doesn't have to be the world title. He could cash in. That would be something different. That would be something for WWE to be like, this is the first time ever. And Tucker, who knows where he's at, but he could come back.
They
WWE loves those like first time ever.
It's kind of sad that Otis came out to the Heavy Machinery music and it said Otis in the background and not Heavy Machinery.
Oh.
Kind of telling what they're already planning for this guy. He's entertaining as hell. He's weird as shit. But
even more of a reason to like this guy.
Yeah.
Dude, I heard that
Elena was watching it. She doesn't watch wrestling that often, but she's like, I've never seen a guy. This guy's shaped like a meatball. I've never seen a guy like this be featured like this. I'm like, I know it's weird. We're living in a weird time right now. This fucking meatball
He's got that cannonball body.
I liked that.
Nice guy.
I like that story that he got tackled trying to. I think it was like for Sable, right? He was trying to get a hug from Sable or something like that.
Yeah. They actually went pretty deep, like with his relationship with his mom and like wrestling, and he said like he had a learning disability. Like they're spotlighting this guy very well, so you can't help but root for him, which I'm excited for.
I love it. He's hilarious.
Let's switch up to the Wednesday Night Wars. I had some thoughts, but we're gonna skip that because we're running out of time. I thought AEW is awesome. AEW to me has the best production, the best what's the word I'm looking for? The best presentation out of any wrestling organization right now. It feels like a bigger deal. The matches are fun. It doesn't feel like a chore watching it. What did you guys think of AEW this week? NXT really did nothing for me. I tried, and I went from NXT to AEW, and just the vast difference between the two shows was crazy to me. NXT is definitely fallen off. I don't know if it's because of this whole thing, but they don't feel like the same show they did a year ago.
I didn't see any of the Wednesday night shows, but one thing I think that AEW has a big advantage is they can really focus on one show.
Yes, for sure.
All the creative minds go into that versus having to juggle, especially without all the resources of having different venues or using different crowd. It's really tough. So if AEW is smart, which I'm assuming they have smart people behind there, they're gonna really try to use that advantage, right?
Yeah, they have Daly's Place is a big place. It feels bigger than the Performance Center. They're still running pyro like it's a packed house. The fact that they have an audience of just people for other wrestlers helping make noise is such a great idea that I think Vince will acknowledge it's a great idea, but won't do it because he's so prideful. He doesn't want.
It wasn't his idea.
Because it's not his idea.
I don't like that though. That's one thing I don't like about. I don't like having wrestlers in the crowd. maybe fake fans or something.
I think it's awesome because they still get to showcase their personality. The faces are on one side, the heels are on another side. It feels like those old like Hall of Fame banquet halls where like everyone's still in gimmick, but they're like interacting like we wouldn't normally see them.
I caught the Brody Lee and Christopher Daniels match, and dude, Christopher Daniels, man, that guy hasn't skipped a beat, dude. He's so good.
He's never got his credit too. I think like people forget about how good that guy is.
Yeah,
it's insane.
He wasted a lot of his prime, huh? He wasted a lot of his prime. I'm like, damn.
TNA, yeah, for sure.
A lot of it was with TNA, but also he was also injured quite a bit. And he also came around the same time as AJ Styles and Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
And he was kind of seen as the third guy behind those two. But he was just as good as these guys. And I still think one of the best triple threat matches I've seen. And if you guys haven't had a chance to watch it, go out of your way to watch it. AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe versus Christopher Daniels. It was a TNA match.
That's considered the best TNA match ever, I think, right?
I would say so too.
Yeah, hands down. I mean, that's three of the like top guys.
Yeah,
like of that era.
Literally the three best guys in TNA.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle could be in there too, but did that match happen before Kurt Angle arrived?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, these guys were all in their prime too.
This was like 2004, I want to say 2005, before Kurt Angle got there. But definitely go out of your way to watch that match if you haven't done so. But as far as AEW goes, I think obviously it shows in the ratings. They are winning. They're beating NXT every week. Although both shows are in the decline, right? They've been declining or so. AEW is 665, NXT a little over 600,000. So both shows are being affected by the ratings as well.
Yeah.
But like you mentioned, Drew, I think the fact that they do provide they have more of like a lively audience that does help. NXT not so much. It seems like it is affected by having a lack of audience. I thought NXT was great this week. I think they did a really good job pulling the main angle of NXT was with the Broserweights, was with Pete Dunne and Timothy Thatcher, and they lost the tag belts. Thatcher turned on them, and then in the end, they had a really good match, a very physically demanding match, by the way.
I actually really like that match, but this goes back to what happens to everybody. You have good matches in NXT, you get called up. Vince is going to look at Timothy Thatcher, who is a great wrestler, look at him and be like, what am I going to do with this? And then we have his Cesaro Volume 2,
Exactly, yeah.
I
think that's one of
or was a lot better than that guy. Cesaro's kind of fell off.
Yeah. Or Drew Gulak. Luckily, Dan O'Brien's helping Drew Gulak, but we're going to get the same thing with Timothy Thatcher once he gets called up.
I don't think he should get called up. I think he should stay in NXT. I think he should stay where he's at.
Partially why I think Gargano is still there. You know what I mean? Like,
I think Gargano could be pulled up, but they did a really cool like vignette for him and Candice right now. Is he like a full-on Guido now? I feel like he's really Gargano, like a
dark Guido.
Yeah, like it's weird. But I liked it. I thought that was a good part of it.
I thought that was very good as well. It's interesting to see where they're going to go with those two, because they are playing the top heel couple in NXT.
Yeah. One thing about AEW that we didn't talk about is that the finals for the TNT title are set. It's going to be Lance Archer versus Cody, and presenting the title is going to be none other than the baddest man on the planet, Iron Mike Tyson. How do you guys feel about AEW? I've seen a lot of people talking shit about AEW just recycling what WWE did in the past by bringing in Mike Tyson. This is a different Mike Tyson than what we got back then.
I'm not mad at it because Mike Tyson puts asses in seats.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that Mike Tyson gets another paycheck, so I can never be mad for Iron Mike. But it is copying.
Well, he's not going to be like an enforcer for the match.
Right.
He's just going to be there to present the belt. Just like how Bret Hart was at Double or Nothing last year or 2
Yeah.
years. Was it last year where he presented the AEW championship?
Yeah, last year.
I think it's similar to that, which is fine. I'm just curious to see how much they paid him. I'm sure it wasn't cheap.
500K probably or some shit.
Like,
I mean,
invested into his weed company.
Right.
I
There
mean,
you
to be
go.
honest, those videos of Tyson on Instagram, the guy is scary. Like he didn't skip a beat either.
He will knock your fucking head off your shoulders if you let him.
Yeah.
I mean,
even if
That
you don't,
That right cross is just fucking brutal, man.
you
I
want
feel bad
to.
for the guy the glove guy that has to like take those punches.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck that. I could be
You can't pay me enough for that.
no, none whatsoever. Like it's gonna be cool. I think it's gonna be like I'm wondering if they're gonna do like a gimmick with him. Like, why not? Like, throw him in there, do something with Cody. Like that'd be dope,
With Jericho,
dude.
Did Tyson knock out Jericho.
Oh,
I remember that.
elbow.
I mean, we could have some interaction between them two.
They probably will because Tyson has a fight apparently in the works.
Hey, he said he's back, and that's gonna make me buy that pay-per-view for sure whenever it is.
Hey, how much?
100%.
How much is Double or Nothing? Is that just on regular pay-per-view?
I think it's only like $30.
How do you order
Let me
it?
take a look at it. Find
I
out.
did it on Fight TV last time, but it didn't work with the Chromecast very well. But there's other ways to order it. I'm gonna get it for sure.
30 bucks. I have to see the card. I'd consider it considering us being in the corner.
It's $49.99.
Fuck you!
Bucks. Okay.
I'd
Well,
probably
I mean,
stick the race 4 with that shit.
well, look at UFC.
And-
UFC was what, $80?
70 bucks.
About 60,
Yeah.
It was about 65, 66 bucks, and it did a very big high rate.
That's insane.
This is going to be a little different though, because traditionally wrestling, for the most part, you get your friends together and you chip in,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a lot more difficult now because now everyone's social distancing, they're self-isolating in their homes. Is everyone going to be like watching, ordering the fights and doing that? That's going to be the real question. So we'll see what happens.
$10 is a lot easier to swallow than me spending 50.
We're gonna
Absolutely.
do a live. We have to do a live of that
We're
one
doing-
for
yeah.
sure.
We can find a stream too.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I think Byron had a thing with this is that the WWE, they have Raw, SmackDown, NXT. AEW has just AEW, so it's.
They have AEW Dark.
But I mean, that's not.
But that just
It's
those
Those
aren't-
Saturday, dude.
yeah, it's not really canon, is it? Well, I guess those rankings on Dark.
They
the rankings overall.
They do post a lot of stuff on Dark on well, they haven't done it lately, but Dark is essentially like superstars or main event
Yeah.
level.
Saturday.
But
still
there's
have
still some
matches
stuff
there.
on there that's noteworthy to watch.
It's. I think that is a big factor with the two of them. It's less minds thinking towards the product.
Right. Man,
So it's just here to that's a take on it, I guess.
Well, not really, because with Raw and SmackDown and NXT, there's a lead writer for each one. With Raw, it's Paul Heyman. For SmackDown, it's Bruce Pritchard. For NXT, it's Triple H, and then the head writer is Vince McMahon. At the end of the day, it's going to be what Vince wants to do with all three shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot more to do than
Right.
Yeah,
just
one
one
show,
show.
versus there's a lot going on in WWE. I said I'd rather take quality over quantity at this point, which is why I think AEW is a superior show, and they're only getting better. This is
suck it, Byron.
2 years in. 2 years in, they're tearing it up.
How long have they been around? 2 years already? Fuck, time is flying.
Who?
AEW.
It's been like 2 years, right?
Yeah. Why?
Maybe a year and a
It
half.
hasn't quite been 2 years. It's not quite.
But it's not. It's getting there.
It's getting there.
It'd be 2 years. I want to say 2 years in August.
I can't wait till AEW has Thursday Night Thunder on or something.
They have been talking about doing a second show,
They
so
probably-
that's going to be in the works. But the thing is, though, not right now during the pandemic. They don't have a full roster yet. I mean, eventually they're going to have a full roster. Maybe we'll see how this plays out after the pandemic's over to see if they even want to go ahead and do a second show. there's a lot of questions that that are going to have to be addressed. You're going to have more questions than answers. Oh, nice background, by the way.
Shotgun Saturday Night.
I love Shotgun Saturday Night. One thing before we get out of here, I wanted to talk about NXT in your house. What do you guys think about them bringing back that old gimmick? Apparently, they're going to have the full set like it was in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Be up for that, for sure.
Took them damn long enough, dude. Like, what took so long to bring that one back?
Didn't they give away a house? For real?
Yes, the first inner house they did.
They gave away a house.
I was the one that said this on this very show. They need to do in your house. They need to bring it back. And look at what happened. Someone's listening to the show out there, guys.
We need to make a graphic for the Put Me Over podcast with that.
Right.
Yeah.
I think In Your House is like the perfect in between major pay-per-view.
Absolutely.
Right. So
not a takeover, but in your house.
Perfect.
Well, the timing of it couldn't be any better,
if you will.
We're bringing the wrestling to you.
We're all in our houses, so excited for that. The card is going to be shaping up, I think, soon, right? They're already getting storylines going for that. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's going to be on June 7th. So it's going to be a week before Backlash.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys got anything else?
No, I think we're good. Hopefully everybody's doing well, being safe. Seems like everyone's a little more relaxed about the situation.
Yeah, we're trying to open up, which I think is easy sometimes. There's still people out there that are
Being
whatever.
Being Karens.
Yeah, a bunch of sheeple out there that we're all sheeple. So upside down, we're in bizarre. But thank you guys so much for listening down and subscribing. We are that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm starving, but I want a nap first. I don't know if I want to eat a nap or nap. Probably.